What's going on, my eaters? This your boy Chef Drew, aka Chef, aka Big Drew, aka we still talking to Tessa. Y'all, we are so excited that my homegirl Tessa's been with us. We talking about all things. Last week we talked about all things macaroni and cheese, some entrepreneurship stuff, part of her story, and now we gonna get into some of the meat of the entrepreneurial walk for her. We are so excited to bring you this content. Tessa, are you excited to be here?
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you this here content. Let's get into this. What's going on? My homegirl, my friend, my sister, Tessa's here. She is the owner, founder, Bloom Salon and Spa in Noonan, Georgia. Tessa. So we've talked a little bit, last week we talked a little bit about your story to entrepreneurship thus far. We talked about your background. First question I'm gonna ask you is, overall, how do you feel your entrepreneurial walk, your journey here has been so far?
It depends on the day. Like if you ask me after a long week, I'm like, I don't have to do this.
Right. Facts.
You're not really in it for the money.
Right.
People I think they get that a little bit misconstrued.
Like if you start your own business,
yeah,
you're going after the money and
yeah, it's not
yeah,
it's not like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad by any means. I'm just saying it's not really
the buckets of dough ain't just shoveling in yet.
Shoveling it, you know.
Right.
A lot comes in, but a lot goes out.
Right.
So, but no, overall, like I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm in what I call the honeymoon phase of it because I'm in my first 5 months.
Right. Brand new.
So I know people who have owned though for 10 plus years, they still love it. So
yeah.
When you find what you're supposed to do, I think you're supposed to love it.
Yeah.
Overall.
Do you have anyone in your industry who you would say are your mentors or the people you look to for help and guidance in your trade?
Right. So I'm still kind of looking for my community here.
Yeah.
I love the cosmetology industry. They can be some of the most petty people that I've ever probably come across.
Lots of Karens.
Which is a bummer.
Don't be petty.
That's a bummer. So I'm trying to find the right community because I've been asking, like, I need someone who's been in it in salon ownership for a long time.
Yeah.
But in North Carolina, I felt like I did have that.
Yeah.
And that was with my old salon up there, which is where I probably gained a lot of wisdom.
Right.
A lot of growth was from my old boss and then the girl that I worked under.
Okay.
Working up there. So
what has been so far, and we can talk, we can think about, because you've had levels to this now. So
right.
you had when you went independent and then you had when you got your salon. What has been most unexpected for you in this process?
I was not totally prepared for the mental undertaking that this has brought on.
I told y'all last week.
It consumes you if you're not careful. It can consume too much of you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm learning that very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, however, on the bright side of that, you learned your boundaries I learned my boundaries very quickly. You
have to, right?
You have to, or you'll get lost very quickly if you don't set boundaries. So.
I just said in a previous episode, we talked about health and we talked about the value and the importance of taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, because this walk can consume you and it can consume you quick if you let it. So I'm super glad you just said that for
Yes.
real. What do you feel like, here's another question to piggyback off of that one. What do you feel like entrepreneurship has changed in Tessa as the person?
I think having my son kind of started this, and then having a business really start, like, kind of took me over the edge, is I really stopped caring what people think about me.
Yeah.
Because you can't really care. Like, you just have to go, you have to go all in with this in a sense. And so you really just cannot care about people's, I mean, you have to care about, you know, people that you trust, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're doing something really ridiculous and someone's telling you that you're close to and that you trust, like, that's ridiculous, then I listen. But as far as, like, not everybody needs to be putting in their opinions about you. And I think if you let them, that can kind of muddy the water in a negative way. So really overcoming that, like, fear of what people will think about me.
So for my process, I've talked about before how I had to bring myself to a place where for my business, there was no other options, like my wife or like my babies. Like, I really had to get myself to a place where my business was a non-negotiable. Like, it has to work. And in getting there, one of the things that has definitely happened is, you know, to an extent, you got to believe in you so much that when the naysayers come, when people come with unsolicited advice, we don't want the unsolicited advice from everybody. Certain people get grace. But when they come with that, you have to know that you know what you're doing, or be confident in your journey.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think people mean well.
Absolutely.
Not everybody, but most people mean well.
Right.
But you can, you got to be careful what you absorb. Sure. Yeah. And hitting on the non-negotiable, kind of that helps you from thinking, oh, what if I fail?
Right.
Like, you just can't you cannot focus on what if I fail. You just have to keep, okay, tomorrow I'm just going to wake up and I'm going to do it. And then the next day, yes, have long-term goals, but just wake up every day and show up and be there and just kind of block the fear out in a sense.
Y'all can see that someone else is saying these things. It's not just me. Tessa has no idea, by the way,
no, I don't.
what is coming at her. This thing is organic, y'all. So, and I want it that way because I want you to get real organic information and feedback. Before we keep this thing going, make sure you guys like and subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you all this wonderful information, all this wonderful food. Tessa, what would you say are your pillars in business for you? What are the things that you stand on, you would say are the foundations of everything you do day to day? And they could be anything, just for you in this place.
Yeah, obviously I pray a lot about the business.
So faith.
My faith. And
y'all heard me talk about that before.
Yeah, faith for sure. I don't want to make any moves I'm not supposed to make. That's really important to me. And then the other few is, that's part of our mission statement, is that the basis of everything I feel like we need to do in this industry is like through love. Yeah. And generosity and excellence. Somebody once told me, like, you'll never regret being generous. Yeah. And I have never regretted being generous. There's days where I'm just I felt like I should pay for someone's haircut, so I just do a service totally free. Yeah. In my fleshly, like, in my practical mind, I'm like, dang it. But I'm like, maybe they just needed that day. Right. So, but then later I'm like, well, at least I know that I was generous and I felt like I was supposed to be generous. Absolutely. In that moment. And generous with my time, with what I do know, with my girls, my team. So yeah, generosity is a big thing for me. I was doing a podcast with someone once, and they said to me, the last question was, what would you want your headstone to read? And my response was, he was generous. Yeah. Y'all, if you're good to people and operate in integrity and try and be helpful
and try to push people forward and don't walk in just your own agenda, only good can come from that. You're never, like Tessa said, gonna fail or fall for being a blessing, for being generous, for putting someone else before yourself. So, as you know, I'm a chef. Our channel is highly, highly like food, culinary driven. But one of the things for me, why I wanted to bring you on and why I want to bring so many different entrepreneurs on is that the foundation of what we do, whether my product or service is food or your product or service is hair and makeup, the foundation of how to execute is very, very similar. What would you say to the young boy, your young girl, the person who's sitting somewhere right now wanting to be a stylist, wanting to be a cosmetologist, wanting to own their own business? What would you say to help encourage them or help them save some time and stress?
I think it can feel a bit overwhelming. I felt, when it was the wrong time, I felt overwhelmed by all the details. Yeah. But, so if you're already, if you're wanting to be a stylist, I'll start there. Go to school or start an apprenticeship or work part-time at a salon. Start with a baby. What's one thing that you can do to help you grow or learn, or go to YouTube and watch a video like this one. Just to get just take one step towards it. Yeah. If you're already a stylist, if you already I encourage you to go independent before going from commission to salon owner. I'm not saying you have to. It helps you funnel, because when you become independent, you need an LLC. You need insurance. You have to do all that, but it's just for you, so it's not as scary as like having employees and all this. Right. But start with that one step, and then if you're already independent or you're wanting to open your own business, the first thing you want to do is make a business plan. Yeah. Because that's going to help you tackle all the little details and help you not get overwhelmed with like, what do I even start with? So make a business plan.
You will always hear, if you pursue entrepreneurship at all, you're always going to hear about a business plan, a business plan, a business plan. This is truth. Yeah. You want to write your vision. You want to put it down on paper. Yes. But this is what I want people to take from this little piece from me, is that your business plan is a roadmap.
No, it is.
It's not a static thing. It's a living thing. And so you can change it. Sometimes your business will force you to change it. Yes. But the value and the most important part is just making sure you have it. You have that foundation laid to build on and build off. So you said a business plan. Yes. Which, you said go ahead. Sorry.
By the way, I literally Googled business plan template, simplest one that I could find, because I'm not this like super I just need a list and I need to follow it and I need. Yeah. So even if it's like the simplest thing of your life, that's anyways.
Do it and do it well. Yeah. Even if it's simple. Because I think there are some formats out there where people, it's literally a thing. Like you have the long drawn out business plan, but you have like almost like an outline or a business plan outline of bullets. Either way, just take it serious. Yes. And be truthful in it. Let it work for you as well. Right. So can we talk a little bit about the financial part, the financial responsibility, the financial burdens of starting your own business, because there's costs associated with it. Let's start at the salon. Okay. Because you said when you were independent, you did have the LLC and all that, but it was more logistics at that point because you're working for you, with you. Yeah. For the salon, that you're talking about a brick and mortar space. Right. I know, just because I know you did work in the space to transition it from the former brand to your brand. There's inventory, there's training, there's all of that stuff. There's somebody somewhere who wants to start a business. Yeah. There's a stylist somewhere that has a booth somewhere right now and she wants her own too. When it came to building out your business, your salon and spa, talk to us a little bit about the money journey, figuring all that out, where'd the money come from, how much. You don't have to give specifics, but ballparks or whatever. Yeah. So people know like this is real money, but you don't necessarily have to be scared of it.
Right. So I will say I used some of my own savings, and then I took out a line of credit. I didn't want to depreciate my own savings.
Right.
Totally, completely.
Yeah.
If my son wasn't here, I probably would just be like, oh,
right.
go all in.
Throw it all to the wind.
When you have babies, you got to think about them too.
Right.
I would say, if you can do it, plan for like 60,000. You don't have to have that, but looking at my first year's like expenses and everything, I'm like, okay, about 60 would have been like good. And
that's where we are.
Okay.
That can change depending on.
Yeah.
Like if you're in New York City or Miami or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it can change. That's where we are.
Right.
I will say though, there's some things that I've done in my first year that I didn't necessarily have to do. Yeah. Like, just my renovation kept me between 20 and 30.
Right.
So, get open. That's what I say. Just get open, get the money coming in, and then you can start crossing off the smaller ones. Yeah. Like the smaller things you want to do that aren't necessarily like, just get making money as soon as you can, basically.
Right. Hear what she's saying, y'all, and this is what I took away from what she's saying. For her, she was in a place where, you were in a place where you saw the value in doing some renovation, changing the face, turning your salon into what you're envisioning. Right. However, if you're not in that place yet, and plus logistically, it almost helps better to do that kind of stuff in the beginning, so you don't have to disrupt a whole bunch of stuff. But would you say for the person who maybe can't make that happen, but they can get open, would you say wait till you can do the renos and all that, or would you say start making money?
I would say I was comfortable doing this because I knew that my income was there. My books were built. My clientele was there. I knew that my money would start coming back in. Yes. It's not, I mean, with your industry, it's not like always like that. Though.
No, it ain't.
So that's a risk element. But in cosmetology, there are ways to make sure that you are going to make it once you're open. Build your clientele. Don't be a baby in the industry trying to do this. Yeah. I would say, because you'll just get overwhelmed. If your clientele is not there, you're not going to be able to carry your team through their ups and downs. Because I have babies like working for me. Right. And I'm able to carry them through their ups and downs. Right. So
as they establish themselves. What you're saying is part of what helped you was that you could count on the revenue. I set myself up to make sure if it was only me in that building, I could make it. You would still be good.
Yeah, I could make it.
We've talked on this channel a lot about people. Like for me, Gwen and I didn't have any help. Everything we've put into this financially has been off our back, out of our pockets. But there are situations or circumstances where people have family and friends and people to help them get off the ground and get started. For you, was that something you utilized, or do you feel like it was important to you to do this yourself?
It was really important to me that this was like me, like my business. So it's my business. Yeah. But I utilized my friends and family's time. Yeah. There's certain things.
Time is money.
Yeah. Time is money, literally. So I literally, and then especially in the area of like design and stuff, that's not my thing. Yeah. So I used my team. Yeah. They're so creative and design-wise, they kept me like on track. Yeah. So essentially, I used everyone's time, and their minds, because I needed help that way. So.
You this because I know your daddy. So your daddy is type A about planning, about finances. Yeah. I can say this specifically because her daddy taught me and Gwen really, more so me. Gwen knew what she was doing, but I just wasn't listening. But your daddy taught me about the importance of budgeting and documenting your finances and all of that. Can you talk about the logistics and the importance of keeping track on a day-to-day with your money, with your numbers, with your taxes, licenses, Talk about that. How do you do it? What's it look like? All of that.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I would not, and I can like say this like blatantly. I would not be. I'm not type A personally. It takes a lot of work for me to think of type A things. Like I can and I do it, but it's not my first option by any means.
Me neither.
So my dad does do. He kind of keeps up with the budget for me.
He helps you with it.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
I mean, he keeps. I mean, I just could not like the brain power it takes me to just. I could not do both. Like, I literally can't. So you need to find someone you trust. On top of that, I from the get-go do not open a salon trying to be your own accountant. We don't do that. We do not.
It's too many streams of revenue, right?
Literally, it's too much. The taxes that you have to pay on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. I mean, unless you're like really good with math.
Yeah.
And you gotta. There's so many places I had to register that I wouldn't have known to register, but my accountant did.
Yeah.
And so that's an additional fee per month. But for me, it's the peace of mind that the IRS is going to be like, hey, buddy, like,
right.
However many years, like you're in big trouble.
Right.
So that's peace of mind that my girls are getting paid correctly. Everything is going as it should be going.
Yeah.
So it's important. I check the accounts myself. Every day.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Every day I do.
You got to watch your money, y'all.
So, but having someone that you trust to be your brain as well is really important.
So y'all have seen in previous episodes, you've heard me talk about delegating. You've heard me talk about your team. You've heard me specifically say in my team, your accountant, your bookkeeper, very, very important. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're creatives, we're visionaries. But we are not the people who you want to keep everything afloat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can tell you a boat is a good idea, but don't ask us to build a boat. But once we have the boat, we can tell you to do what to do with it. We're visionaries. So it's very, very important. Tessa's blessed that her dad is wired this way. He's very good at it. And so she has that to pull on a day-to-day. I have people I can pull on day-to-day. I'm sure if I called your daddy, he would help me out again.
Probably.
Yeah, but if you don't have that as your father or best friend or close somebody, y'all, find somebody, especially an accountant, to help you with your money, your taxes. You do not want big Uncle IRS showing up. You don't want surprises. You don't want angry employees.
Right.
Track your money. Tell us a little bit more about like where your salon is right now. I know you just started. Didn't you just become like a certified extension queen guru? Come get your extensions done here. So tell us a little bit about where you are right now as far as your business goes and where you going? Where's Tessa see herself in a year, 5 years? What's that look like?
Yeah, so we are obviously 5 months in, as we figured out. I'm just waking up every day doing the same thing. So 5 months in, yes, our salon, my whole team just got certified. We are an extension certified salon. So I have found I love it. So my goal is to keep growing that aspect of it.
Okay.
I am currently training to become an educator with the extension line that I'm under.
Oh, awesome.
So I plan to, so my goal for myself, and then I'll do my goal for my team, is to work three days or less behind the chair, and then probably one weekends a month I travel to go and educate and train people to do the extensions that I just started doing.
Okay.
For my team, just keep them growing. I have two. They're so talented. They've been in it like quite a bit less than I have, but my goal for them is to train them to be better than I ever could be. So I tell people. Yeah. So that and just seeing them grow personally as well is a big thing too. I mean, you can't get too personal with people in business, but you can give them the tools. And so watching my team grow, that's why I say it's not really about money in that way. Right. Because it's more about people. It's about people. If you're trying to go into business and you don't like people, then you should not go into business. For true. So, unless it's some weird cryptocurrency or something like that. So,
Tessa, you're in this. You want to educate. You want to continue to build your team. But business, people are changing every day. Customers are changing every day.
Yeah.
Your industry, just like the food business, is changing every day. People might not know it, but there's all sorts of evolution coming on every single, coming out every single day. How does Tessa keep Bloom Salon and Spa new, fresh?
The babies, the young people. I mean, I'm young, but like, I mean, I get, you know, I like having older ladies in my chair, like for sure. So I can kind of get, when you get to a point where you have like a steady clientele coming in, sometimes you forget to like check out the trends. I'm with the trends, but like if it wasn't for my girls, they're like, have you seen this? I'm like, no, I haven't. Let's try it. Honestly, I would be probably a lot worse off.
Yeah.
So make sure you have a network of people who are better than you, or do more research than you, or just are more creative than you,
or have different areas of interest than you,
or that's their strong suit and your strong suit is something else. Like, just make sure you have people around you who are growing with you, and then obviously set aside time. Like, I do set aside time to get education for my team. Like, that's so important, is just making sure you're getting educated. You haven't learned it all, you know. Just keep that mindset that you're always growing and learning.
Love that as we're talking, there's just so much overlap, y'all. And I can assure you that as we talk to more people, I'm going to be putting people in front of you. There's certain threads, what do they call them? What do we hear in church? Meta narratives, underlying stuff that drive all business. You're going to keep hearing it different ways, but you're going to hear it from different perspectives. Talk about, Tessa, what you don't hear a lot about either is the balance, if there is balance, between entrepreneurship. You got a little boy at home. You got your family at home. Maybe a little bit of social life. How do you juggle all of that? How do you make sure all of those things are important? So how do you make sure they stay in the place they need to stay?
Okay, so mentally, I knew going into this, I said no vacations this year. I was not comfortable leaving my business when I went out of town. I'm in my first year. I feel like it's important that I'm there to set the atmosphere of the salon. I just knew going into it that I would be doing very little extra or very little other things. So literally right now, it's just my son and the salon. And I knew that. And that was something I was willing to do. It's just like stick my head down and just do it. In that though, I mean, obviously you have to take mental breaks. Because I feel like you said you had an episode on that. You do have to take breaks. Like, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'm still in the first year, so I'm still learning that work-life balance, as they call it. However, I feel it's okay to have days that are more work focused and then days that are more family focused. So I just make sure that I have like 2 full days a week where I'm not at the salon and I'm like home with my son. And there's, I mean, obviously other times, but it's hard for me to like switch back and forth sometimes. So sometimes I'll be like on my phone too much at home because I'm trying to text clients, and because that's just a big part of what we do now with the social media and the communicating. But it is hard. I don't necessarily feel like I have the best answer for that, because it's really hard. You're always giving up something. I'll say that.
I think what you said was very important and very poignant. Like, you preemptively made the decision. You said, yo, I'm opening this salon. For the next year, I'm locked in. Y'all, owning your own business takes sacrifice. It takes time away from your loved ones. It takes missing things. It takes spending money you don't want to spend. It takes answering questions you've already answered. It takes people being upset because you missed dinner, you missed vacation, y'all, it comes with the territory. It is what it is. I feel like there's not really no way to launch without it, right?
No, really. I mean, in the beginning, it's gonna be a commitment, and then you get it flowing smoothly. You find people that you trust be there when you're not there. Finding that, you know, it's really important if you open a business to have that person that's that you trust.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that you trust when you're not there.
Do you feel like you have that now, or do you feel like you're grooming that person now?
Mm-hmm. I feel like that. Yeah. I mean, they have, I mean, obviously I'm real particular. Okay. So like,
you should be.
Yeah. I'm like, and I forget to communicate my particularness sometimes. So I'm like,
Me
what
too.
are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I feel like as I learn to communicate better with my team, that I have, and I'm going to have that. I wouldn't say I have that 100% right now.
Yeah.
But I'm working towards it. So.
Right. Awesome. What would you say, what makes you different, dare I say better than the next salon?
I wouldn't necessarily say better.
I know, but I would. Right.
Our culture, our salon environment.
I
keep it very positive. I don't allow
drama.
Yeah.
No drama.
If we're upset with each other, I will literally walk up to someone and be like, I'm very mad at you right now. Like, that's just how we are. And that's like, we just talk about it and then we get it out of the way.
Okay.
And then we move on.
Tessa, what's your exit plan?
What do you mean?
When I say exit plan, I mean, do you intend on working your salon now and ever more? Do you intend on selling the salon one day? Do you want more salons? What's your strategy? Because I've talked a lot on this channel about buying a job. A lot of entrepreneurs buy a job, and they're okay. Some people are okay with that. They start a business simply because they don't want to work for someone else, but they also have no problem going in and being a part of the business on the day-to-day. For me and Gwen, our ultimate goal to be able to have our business create passive income so we can continue to grow and serve and help. So one day I want for the Eating Chambers channel, I want for Pink's Barbecue, I want for the Eating Chambers to be able to go independent of me.
Okay.
So what do you feel like, or have you even thought about your exit strategy or what you want for yourself?
I love being behind the chair. Like, I love actually doing hair.
Yeah.
So I haven't really thought about that yet, but obviously I told you my goal was to educate, which puts me behind the chair less.
Right.
And that's part like less behind the chair. I think in the long run, probably eventually giving my clients to my girls. Not anytime soon.
Not no time soon, y'all.
No.
Don't get excited. And don't get scared, clients.
No, yeah, that's true. Not anytime soon, like probably, I mean, I don't even know how many years.
Down the road.
I'm just going to keep doing this until I wake up and I feel like it's a different time.
Yeah.
And so that's a part of me, like, just learning to live. I used to just, like, think of my life, like, planning so many years ahead. And I have learned you just can't plan that much.
Yeah.
You can. I have goals. I have dreams. I have what I want, but life just happens sometimes. And so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing until I'm told to do something else or told to, you know, I could wake up tomorrow and God's like, you need to sell the salon.
Shut it all down.
All right. Well, I would hate that, but we can do that.
Yeah.
And
she would do it too.
I mean, that's just
cool. But do you think, and this is just me being nosy, do you think one salon is enough, or do you see? Could you think you could potentially remix this thing, do it again?
Okay, so like I think it would be really cool to have it grow and then to have another bit. I don't want to say too much too soon.
Yes, ma'am.
But to have another business like coinciding with it.
Yeah.
So that is on the horizon. But
don't say too much too soon.
Near, like I'm good. Like I'm still figuring it out.
Right. What that looks like.
Yes.
Cool. But y'all, we got to get out of here. Thank you so much. Just know that we always here to educate, excite, and empower you to be the best you can be and to move towards what you want for yourself and your business. Tessa.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Y'all, support my girl. Bloom Salon and Spa, Noonan, Georgia. Look her up. Come see her, do all the things. And until next time, y'all.
See ya.
See ya.